All right, up next we have Julie in Phoenix. Hey, Julie, welcome to the show. Julie?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
We're doing
Thank you so
well.
much for having me on the show.
Yeah. Well,
Thank
how
you
can
for
we help?
taking my call.
For sure.
Basically, I'm not sure so much it's financial family. It got to the point that I literally had to stop speaking to my mother, and I'm guessing it has to do with finances, and I just wanted to get your advice. I got saved at the age of 21. I was in debt over $10,000. I put myself in bootstraps. I paid it off in 1 year.
Wow.
And after that, I just kind of stayed living in New York. My mother accumulated debt from about 10 to 12,000. They started suing her, dragging her to court. I felt I needed to do something because she was not doing anything, and she turned to me, and I paid about $4,000 to file for bankruptcy for her. And that was about 8 years. I'm 30 now, so that was 8 years ago. And I paid, and that was all of my money. And I made her promise that she will never get a credit card again. Because after I paid off all of my credit cards and debts, I cut everything. I've never used a credit card, any debt again, basically.
And you found that you can't change people.
Yes, and within a year or two, she had multiple credit cards again. She tried to kind of hide it from me that they were coming in the mail.
Sure.
And within maybe 5 years, she was right back where she was, 10 to maybe $12,000, and they started to try to drag her to court again.
Yeah.
She turned to me basically like, are you going to take care of it? Like, I didn't know what to do. I called the attorney, her bankruptcy attorney, and she was like, what's wrong with your mother? You can't file bankruptcy every 4 to 3 years or 5 years.
Yeah.
You can only do it every 10 years. Long story short, I moved to another state to be in full-time ministry. Then COVID hit. She moved to that state with me. And then after some time, it's just she was making very not smart financial decisions. And it was just, I'm starting to feel the point I was getting suffocated. And when I was done with the ministry and I moved to another state, now I'm in Arizona, she always wants to move in with me. So basically, I can pay at least half of the bills.
Yeah. So Julie, we have a hard break
she,
coming up. Hey, Julie, we have a hard break coming up. What, give me the situation today and how Ken and I can kind of walk you through and give you our thoughts.
She keeps asking me for money.
Okay.
I keep trying to move in with me.
Okay.
And I can't.
Yeah.
When I was 19, she was encouraging me to take out a student loan to pay to
Hey,
fix $30,000.
Julie, listen, this is a hard no. You've got to put up some boundaries, Rachel. She's got to put some boundaries up with mom, and it's a tough situation because it's her mother.
Yeah, it is.
I tried for the last 2 years, and she would emotionally blackmail me. She would guilt trip me. It got to the point where she would call, and I would my blood pressure would go up.
Yeah, I know.
And
sweet. Listen.
I had to stop speaking to her.
Julie, listen.
Yeah.
I understand this is so wildly painful and so hard, but the fact is you're already in pain. She's already putting you in this situation, and so it's not going to get any worse if you literally say no and you put the boundaries up. It's not going to get any worse than it already is, but by giving her continued power to manipulate you, and I'm being very specific with that word. Your mother is manipulating you, and you do love her, and it is because you love her that she has the power to manipulate you. But we can hear the pain in your voice, Rachel.
It is. And Julie, putting up those boundaries is really difficult, and I think being very clear with her and saying, Mom, I'm not giving you any more money. And if that is the string that keeps us together, then Julie, there's a point in which is the most heartbreaking thing when a family is destroyed, but she's destroyed. I hear it in your voice, Julie, that you can't handle this anymore. And so there's going to be a really hard boundary that you say that we can't have a relationship if this is how you're going to treat me. And this is for the good of you, Julie, for the good of you in your life. And that's a hard boundary, but it's a loving one for you.